Okay, we're
I love
set.
vanity.
Let's see if it works.
I love
Get
vanity.
yours taken.
Okay, I'd like to call this caucus meeting to order. Josh, right?
Yep.
Is going to talk on the beginning. I'm going to go down. Go ahead, Josh. Let me have you come up now, and then you don't have to listen to the rest of this if you don't.
Sure, and this will be quick. It's just an update on our matching funding from the Marjorie Hartman Foundation. This week we've officially signed with them to be our title sponsor as far as naming of the dog park. What it entails is from now until April 30th of 2024, we've got whatever money we bring in, literal money, they'll match up to $50,000. So in and with that, we put our full, what we want to put in the dog park, how much it would run up to, that'd be $56,000. So if we raise all the funds, there's a line in that that says what's left over gets given to the city of Struthers for use is up to you guys. So there's potential here that if we come at or under budget and raise all of the funds, that there will be a $40,000 windfall coming to the city as well from our fundraising. So we use for upkeep on the dog park, upkeep around the park, whatever you guys whiteboard and swing and hit. So
How much do you have in your?
currently we're at about $2-3 grand, but that comes from having to pay for our website and some of our initial stuff. So, and none of what's already come in gets matched, it's everything henceforth. And tomorrow we've got a press release going out that they've approved stating all this, and we're off and running and telling everybody, you're the first in the community to know. And then we start pressing it out to the community and say, every dollar you give us, we get a dollar matched for it.
How long are you going to be responsible for this park? Is like once it's built, are you going to just hand it over to the city?
That would be the intention. I mean, our committee is still going to help with some of the cleanup. Like we said, last time we had the turd bandit who for the first year is going to come through gratis and.
But they're not going to do it
stuff.
forever, so we're going to have to pay them.
More than likely, but I mean, it's one of those things where again we don't know what we don't know yet. If he has to come once a week for 10 minutes and he's local and he's graduated from here, I could see him doing it longer than that. If people are bad and it becomes something he's got to do every single day, then I could see where he's like, hey, you know what, we need to talk about this. So.
I just, last time you spoke, you just said you were going to hand it over to the city, and I had a problem with that because we don't fund for that. You know
Well, no, it's
what I
more
mean?
the upkeep of the grass and the bags and that sort of thing.
Right,
So.
yeah.
And like I said, we see as we go, and if we have extra funds left over and we find out it costs, $100, $200 a month to have somebody come and pick up poo once a week, and that's what we need, then, we've given the rest
So
of the
you're going
raise
to
to kind of cover
continue
that.
your association beyond handing it over as well?
Yeah, as long as I'm living in the area, I would be tied to it in some capacity.
And that stuff with the grass cutting and the doggy pods, we do that. We have those in.
Right, we're going to
They're
make sure
in
we've got the open fencing, so it's just in and out, it's more, we just have to open the fence. So, I just wanted to.
What other type of fundraisers are you gonna have there?
So we've got our stuffed pepper dinner coming up in November. We've talked about a potential comedy night somewhere around. We're doing straight outreach on Facebook, starting to reach out to businesses. By all means, anybody who's got a tie to a local business who you think this would be worthwhile for. I mean, dollar for dollar match, you don't get anything like that from like a bank if you take out a loan or anything. So it's pretty huge to be able to go to people and say, give me $500, it becomes $1,000 immediately, right? And just the build up. So. And obviously, if we don't hit 50,000 by the end of April, whatever we hit, that's what they match, and then that's what we use. So, we only raise 20,000. We have $40,000 to build a dog park.
What's the cost to build it?
And what we propose to them that's in there, it's 56,000. So, and that is where as we get closer to, if somebody knows someone who's, can sell fencing or fencing pricing actually comes down, it's expense, then those line items start coming down. So.
It's been a while. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Is there any questions for Josh? Anything? If you need any questions answered on behalf of your constituents, now's the time to do it while he's sitting here in front of us.
And if there are any questions, if you put them in contact, we can have Josh reach right out to them.
What was that? You say if there's a constituent that
Yeah, I'm happy to talk to anybody. So if somebody wants, you can pass them my way. I'll happily get on the phone, talking through everything we're doing.
Have you
Okay.
had anybody contact you from, like, that Nebo area that is against the dog park?
I have not heard from anybody, no.
Okay, I just
And
wondered.
I haven't received not one phone call about the dog park.
Okay.
We
And I'm the
received
councilman
one.
for that area, so.
Yeah.
We received one from a neighbor, from a woman there. Bob went and talked to her. We spoke to her over the phone and she understands.
okay.
Yeah. I think,
I think
there was a
I talked to, she was more concerned about the noise from the football.
yes, and she
Yeah.
thought with the it would get worse,
would get
and she
worse,
was
yeah.
worried about drug activity and it being frequent and more, and I think we feel like if there's more people there, more eyes on it, we feel like that would be less of a
It
concern.
would be, probably behoove the city to have the police run through there every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
'cause I don't see them much in Nebo, hardly at all, you know, and I know they're supposed to travel throughout the whole city, but I very seldom see a police car up in Nebo.
Good. Thank you, sir, for keeping us updated
You
on,
are very welcome. Or,
and
I
I hope
said,
things work out.
hope so too. Press release goes tomorrow, so local news might be covering. We'll find out.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
Alright, yeah,
You guys have a good night. We're gonna go talk about the stuffed pepper dinner.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, I will be looking for a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the second regular meeting dated Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, accepted here by the clerk. 3 pieces of communication. Are there any questions or comments on communications? If none, Mayor's report. Mayor Miller.
Sure. Okay, so we have the Beirut Memorial. I think I sent a text message out about that. The candlelight vigil will be held this Saturday, October 14th at 6 a.m. The ceremony will follow at 1 p.m. at the Beirut Memorial at Hamilton Lake. I know a lot of you guys attend the ceremony there, but they're both important to a lot of our residents here. This Thursday, October 12th, beginning at 12 noon, we'll be having a food giveaway at Roosevelt Park in Camel for any Struthers, Camel, Lowville, or Coytesville residents. We've been having a lot more frequently because we have a good system down in Camel at Roosevelt Park. So it runs very smoothly. We're usually out of food within an hour, hour and a half. So even if you know someone or a neighbor or somebody that needs food or that you can deliver, come right through the line because we have a lot of people that do that. Trick or treat in the city will be on Tuesday, October 31st from 5 to 7. Please drive with caution and be mindful of the construction along some of the streets. Creed Street from Garfield to Euclid will be closed for any through traffic again this year. On Saturday, October 14th, Maple Crest Skilled Nursing and Rehab will host its annual Fall Fun Fest from 1 to 3. Trick or treating will be at 2. Costumes are encouraged. On this Saturday, October 14th, from 12 to 3 at New Life Church in Poland, Comfort and Hope will be hosting a fall community fundraiser with food, a basket raffle, 50/50 Children's Art Center, and more to raise funds for the birthday bags for Mahoning County Children's Services, NOAS, and the Bear Foundation to help foster youth. We also, I think you guys have the voting sheets in front of you. This is our first time doing the Halloween house contest. Please visit our city Facebook page to vote for your favorite Halloween house by simply liking the actual picture on our City of Struthers Facebook page. The contest will begin today, Wednesday, October 11th, and voting will end on Wednesday, October 25th at 3 o'clock. We did decide to do a city employee voting, so that's what you guys have in front of you there, to just simply vote. We're gonna have another prize for that. Congratulations to our Struthers Fire Department for placing second in the annual Friends of Fido Chili Cook-Off at Penguin City. Thank you to everyone who supported the cause. We also have Habitat collecting cans and other aluminum products. If you have any to donate, please drop them off at the Struthers Restore on Southbound Road. And the Struthers Band Boosters are raising money for new uniforms through a trunk or treat and movie night on October 29th, and they're looking for sponsors and donors. Please contact Liz Hawkins to participate or donate. We also have, I didn't list it in here, we also have trunk or treat for the PTO. That will be at the Struthers Baseball League. That is on Monday night. The 30th. I know we've been sharing the information on our Facebook page. And then I also have a couple more announcements that aren't included in the mayor's report. We did receive a FEMA grant. KO applied for air packs So we did get a FEMA grant for $123,000. And then Chief Roddy applied for a grant himself, and he got a grant for almost $4,000 for bulletproof vests for the guys. And then the rest of the stuff is just, I don't know if you want to put it under new business, because that's not really,
For yours?
yeah, just updates on some other things. It's not really,
Okay. Well, if you want, go ahead.
okay.
You got the floor.
Well, they're financing legislation, right, so I don't know. I
Are
just
you
want to
gonna
bring you,
need- Are you gonna need legislation?
no,
See?
just,
Go ahead.
okay. We've been having a problem with cats and with neighbors feeding cats. We've been reaching out to everybody possible. We talked to animal charities, we've talked to the dog warden, we've talked to different communities to see how they handle cats at large. So we talked to Sebring, and they were going off of, I believe this is from Talmadge, but I'm gonna just read this, and then maybe it's something we could discuss at committee next week. But this is where, we would have to do one specific to cats at large, but this says, no owner, keeper, or harborer of any dog or cat shall fail at any time to keep it either physically confined or restrained on the premises of the owner, keeper, or harborer by leash, tether, adequate fence, supervision, or secure enclosure to prevent escape, or under reasonable control of some person. A person shall be considered a harborer of any dog or cat if such person provides food, water, or shelter for such dog or cat without regard to actual ownership of such animal. So if we have people that are actively, this is gonna be more your alley, but if we have somebody who is feeding the cats, there's a couple of different problem areas in different neighborhoods where this is happening, and it's getting very out of control, and the cats are just reproducing, and so I don't know if this is something we can talk about
Next week.
next week, maybe. I gave you all the thank you letter. I have to send that to Megan for communication. But Spectrochemical, that was one of the facade grants, and the pictures are going around, but it really has made a huge difference to that corridor. Then I have the parking. The Andrew Mahone Foundation, we did send a letter to the attorney via email. We sent a hard copy through the mail to both Andrew Mahone Foundation and the attorney on September 22nd, requesting a list of the tenants and what schools they are attending, and I've heard nothing, not anything. So I think if we hit about a month, we're gonna probably send something out again. I don't know how to go about handling that, but we didn't.
Cause I know St. Nick's turned them down.
St. Nick's did turn them down, and we did tow a vehicle,
Right.
and there were other vehicles that were ticketed on the street there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cause
I'm
I
just,
got a couple complaints on it from neighbors up there, and I
Yeah.
just said, they're working on it.
we've sent the letter out requesting, so we're just,
Well, last time we were here, they only had one person.
Yeah,
I've been in contact with other people, and there's people
In the
in the
neighborhood, they
neighborhood who
know
know
that
that
there's more
there's
than
more.
that.
yeah,
There was
Who
some
knows
people,
what?
there's more
Coming in
people
and
living there.
yeah.
There was somebody moved in, I believe at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Not students, I assume.
We're
Not that we
assuming
know
not.
of, and that's what I'm asking
Sure.
for verification, so we're,
So
on the
then,
22nd,
if
that'll
they're
be-
not students, they're in violation of the code.
Right.
yes.
That's why I didn't want to change it.
So I think we should be allowed to ask for proof that they're students, right?
That's what we did.
Okay.
Yep, that's what we did. We asked for a list of the residents and who's living there and what school they attend.
Well, my other question is, from the gist of what she was saying was, she's technically going to be a teacher.
This is about the-
That's not how the
Ordinances.
ordinance or the variance
Mm, this
given
one.
was intended
Right.
from council. It was intended that it was, so I think
100%, yeah,
that's what we
absolutely.
talked to John about,
I
and
know.
Yeah, cause she did mention that she was gonna teach them how to be better mothers.
This lady.
But she's not a licensed teacher for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they have organizations to do that, and that's not one of them.
it's stretching it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no response, none, no email,
Well,
no,
that says a lot.
so.
Yeah.
It's just as disappointing because someone that said they want a lot of communication and want to be part, and we're getting nothing in response.
Yeah, they stood right here and told us
And then two more things really quickly. The AFSCME contract, I believe we may be wrapping up the negotiation, so we may have that contract for the committee meetings next week. And then we have good news, but I wanted to see if it was okay if I brought Mr. Mangine to a meeting, whether it be the next committee meeting or the next council meeting or whatever you prefer. He is in the process of purchasing the A building at Caslow and has a very, he has an NDA, so he can't disclose who or what is coming, but we're very excited about the possibility of a lot of jobs at the A building. So there was a Caslow meeting, and the parking lot that they just created will be going with this property. In turn, he will be footing the bill for paving from Somona Valley, that whole area. He's gonna pave that and put up a retaining wall and everything. The only thing he will have to come to council, and we will discuss this as well, is in order for this company to come, they need 8 feet of the easement along the building vacated. So that's something we have to talk about, because in order for the trucks to make the turn, they need 8 feet. We have an easement that runs in between the scene lots and that very first small building. So he would need 8 feet
We
in.
would still control the easement though.
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
But that's another discussion, and I don't know if you want me to have, to see if he can be here at that meeting.
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
We just both went to the Somona Valley meeting on Sunday morning and got that approved. They're okay with that. But that'll be deemed public parking. That whole area will be public parking. Cena already gave us permission. There was death in the family, and I don't feel that it's right that I ask right now.
Gotcha.
When he already gave us that permission to use that for public parking, I just don't feel like it's an appropriate time. But Somona Valley did give us permission, they voted on it, they just want some type of MOU for that.
Mangine will do a great job there.
Absolutely.
Great
Absolutely.
job.
But he's more than willing to come talk to council, but there's not a lot, because of the NDA that he signed, there's not a lot of information that he can disclose. But just a man of his reputation, I
Yep,
trust what he's bringing. And so next committee meeting might be on.
Yeah.
It's all right. That all you have
Is that all? I mean,
for
I'm sure
tonight?
she could keep going.
I could talk all night.
For tonight.
Yes.
Any questions for our mayor?
How about the Los Galos building, anything, or?
Yes, we've actually had our 7th meeting with the investors from Texas, and Joe Mancino. He's a developer from Youngstown, and we just met with him again. We had the electricity turned on there. We're working with the CIC, that $750 that we got, so there's some little things that we need to do before we can either lease the building or sell the building. But it's, I don't wanna say we've not had a serious inquiry. We've had a lot of people interested, but none that has lasted more than 2-3 meetings. So we have another investor. I think there may be some issues with funding, and this couple, they just have it, and they want to be involved with everything.
Do you know what would go in there?
They have a couple of different ideas, and that's what the developer's working on. So some type of larger event space. They're concerned, they don't think a restaurant there will work at all, and that goes along with every restaurant we've had there really hasn't lasted. They talked about pool halls, comedy centers. They're going around back and forth with a lot of different things. They're friends with Brian Palumbo,
Okay.
so they want in on what's going on here.
The best that's ever been was the pool hall in
Yes,
Fatty's.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And
even if you expand like a snack bar and stuff.
I know
buy
Eric wanted
sandwiches or
to
something.
expand that down there, but he couldn't come to terms with Mr. Neapolitan on that.
Well, see, here's what, so any of the, excuse me, any of the parking that we, or any of the spaces that we get in downtown, we're holding on to them. So anybody that we've talked to about Los Galos, the parking, even though the parking lot is connected, it will not go along with the sale of the building. That parking lot will remain public parking.
And you mentioned that the people from Texas were willing to do the parking lot across the street.
That was the last time we talked, so that's what we're crossing our fingers about, yes.
Okay.
That's
'Cause
where
we're
the
having-
house was?
Yes, and
Yeah.
we've been, I can't tell, it's almost like the back truck. We've been going to everybody. It's like the funding for the Judith Lane, for the
Yeah.
5th Street Judith Lane
Yeah.
study. We're going everywhere to try to find this money. There's no money for vehicles, there's no money for second phase studies right now, and there's no money for parking lot or asphalt or anything like that. So we're crossing our
That stands
fingers on this,
still there.
yeah. But we're not
Not
done.
Good.
Cause you could put a 2-deck parking lot there.
Yeah. The problem there is the elevation, or is not the elevation.
The elevation.
The slope.
That was
Yeah.
into
The
the second.
slope and that.
Yeah.
and, coming
That's
down.
the issue.
They have to take a lot of dirt out of
They'd have to put a retaining wall and,
there. Yep.
but
all
there's other things going on with the other strip of buildings that, even where Social 22 used to be, there's a possibility of creating parking to adjoin the parking that's between the bank and Social 22 to that. Now, that would take a hell of an architect or engineer, but there's,
Those buildings need to be torn down.
Are we
Yeah.
moving
we
anywhere on those
actually,
buildings?
we actually, sent a notice to demo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Cause you could put a nice little strip plaza
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
With parking out front, if you set it back far enough.
Have we heard anything back from that?
Any other questions for the mayor? Any other questions for the mayor? Board of Standing Committees.
Finance legislation, October 18th, 6 p.m.
Roy, you have something?
Well, not until December 6th.
Oh, okay.
Can we like make sure, cause I need to make sure that's
You say
okay.
what?
Jen said that's good with her.
October 18th.
October 18th. Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah.
So on December 6th, we'll have a meeting, Jen will come in from Aqua and discuss, about the next couple of years of what's gonna happen with the water. So I just need to make sure that my committee's here, that's all.
December 6th.
December 6th, yeah.
Is there any other committees? Okay, if none, there's 2 pieces of legislation. Number 2 will be the final reading. Questions or comments on legislation? Unfinished business. Any unfinished business? New business. Report of our law director. John, you have anything?
I do not.
Questions for our law director? Our auditor's absent, our safety director is absent. Anything else under caucus? Need a motion to adjourn caucus. Ricky makes a motion, Lori seconds it.